Welcome to the future. Welcome to Bitcoin Bitumeros once again on this afternoon of July 31st, 2024. It's a pleasure to be with you. I can already see you in the live chat. We have been here greeting you, Jordi, Javier, Elvi, of course, who never misses. JC Jurado. Well, to all of you who are joining us, David Agea is also around, and of course, Giovanny is with us too. How are you, Giovanny? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's truly a pleasure to always be here with all of you. Thank you for joining us, and today is the last one we're going to do, before we all go on vacation. Some of you might even be watching us from the beach already. So today is going to be a program that we are very excited to do, and also, in some way, to give you the best of us.
All right, so a fresh summer program, as Giovanni says. We hope some of you are already enjoying the sea and the beach. And if you're watching us and about to leave, well, hey, we want to share with you a program with new updates and guests. Gunther will also be joining us, and Luis will be joining us as well. They are here in the back and will also share some very interesting things with us. But before we start, Giovanni, you know that I always like to focus on the current moment we're living in within the ecosystem, in the general industry. These have been weeks of absolute madness from my point of view, historic with everything that's happening. I'm going to start with the most notable news. And then, if you agree, we can talk a little about the Bitcoin price chart. We are also going to provide some data on Ethereum and talk about the behavior of the BM token since we launched the new BM locking service on the platform to see how it has been performing. Well, I think I would start with what I believe is the most notable or the most important shift that we have already discussed in other live sessions in previous months, which is the news that Bitcoin is entering the race for the USA elections taking place on November 5th. We saw Donald Trump personally attend one of the most important Bitcoin events in the world, which was in Nashville. It was last week, just a few days ago, and we were also discussing it live. We noted down some of the things he said at that event. It is true that some of us, including myself, might have left because I did have very high expectations. I wouldn't say disappointed because it can't be a disappointment that the USA candidate is speaking positively about Bitcoin at such an important event. However, the announcement we were expecting from USAND, well, after talking about Kennedy, who made some very strong proposals but is an independent candidate and was previously part of the Democratic Party, said that if he were elected president, he would literally buy 550 Bitcoin every day until reaching a strategic reserve of 4 million units, and would also facilitate transactions occurring within the USA. Using Bitcoin would have no taxes, directly eliminating that tax rate on financial transactions using Bitcoin as currency, practically making Bitcoin legal tender. Sure, then Trump spoke, and he did say important things like on day one, if he wins the election, he will make Gary Gensler resign or replace him with another politician, another director of the SECUSN, which is the Security Exchange Commission. So that very important organization that has been against the world of cryptocurrencies. He also said something fundamental, which is that if he wins the elections, the Bitcoins held by the USA Department of Justice, not a single Bitcoin will be sold and it will become part of the country's treasury strategies. And that is evidently already a flaw. It is already maintenance apart from the new purchases. We talked about this live with Sergio from Business Television. And of course, we discussed that at an event of this type where everyone will be watching you, you can't just say that you're ahead in buying Bitcoin when China, Russia, and other countries that could be political or strategic adversaries might be watching you. Because if Trump, imagine, says he starts buying Bitcoin from November 5th, what would China have done? What would the European Union have done? What would Russia and other countries have done? Well, probably you'll get ahead and acquire it earlier, not excusing the inconvenience.
We are precisely getting Javier back again. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he has already gone on vacation or not. You know, it's the things that happen live. Thank you very much for being here with us, and I believe we will soon be back with Javier, who was telling us something very interesting, especially about USAND, which we had the opportunity to have translated for us in real time, practically live, when Donald Trump was talking about Bitcoin, what he planned to do with cryptocurrencies, and more. So we will resume shortly. I think Javier is already here, and I am over there.
If we try it, Jose, let's go see if I think so. That now, yes, right, phenomenal.
Well, I don't know where we left off before, but basically we talked from the beginning. So let's almost start again from the beginning because it was very interesting that they were live translating in real time precisely for all the users about the topic Donald Trump is talking about, what he plans to do, and maybe a bit more.
All right, then. Let's put things into context a bit, shall we? As I was saying, we have reached a historic debt figure in the USA of 35 trillion, We were increasing the debt of this country by 1 trillion every 100 days. And if you look at the graph, the increase, as we have discussed in other sessions, is parabolic. In this context, we also have very important geopolitical issues. Due to what happened with the leader of Hamas, who was killed by Israel, what's happening in Venezuela, and also Turkey saying it will send soldiers to Lebanon, and all this is not happening within a presidential election race in the USA, where Trump, whom we couldn't have imagined just a few months ago, has positioned himself very favorably towards Bitcoin and the world of cryptocurrencies. It is understood that game theory is fully deployed, that there are 50 million Americans who are aware of the measures or countermeasures that the Democratic Party takes against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and probably many Bitcoiners will decide to support Trump because of this. So the other day there was a conference in Nashville, in the USA, where a pitch was given saying that it is true that it was done after Kennedy, and that Kennedy gave a very bullish speech. But Kennedy is a candidate who is independent, meaning he is not going to join any party. He used to belong to the Democratic Party. Now there's Kamala Harris, who, as you know, has replaced Biden, and we have Donald Trump. Then Kennedy made a pitch. Trump gave bullish, planning to buy 550 Bitcoin, to have 4 million units in the country as treasury. He also said that no taxes would be imposed, and then Trump was a bit more conservative. He did say that they were going to replace Gary Gresslin from the SECUSEN, from the Security Sales Commission, which is like the supervisor, similar to the CNMV in Spain, and that they were going to appoint someone favorable. They were also going to create a council that, during the first 100 days of the term, would make very favorable laws so that the entire crypto ecosystem could grow and develop in the USA. Besides, he said he wasn't going to sell a single Bitcoin. In fact, he said, "Don't sell your Bitcoin," which is the typical phrase we all say in the ecosystem. So I think it was very, very positive. It is true that the expectations were extremely high, but knowing that if Donald Trump wins, those Bitcoin won't be sold on one hand, and that they will hoard more against the BRICS bloc, who will be very attentive, because we see movements in Hong Kong and China where we expect that sooner or later they will also start buying. Apart from that, we see very important companies or consortia of companies coming together like MetaPlanet, like MicroStrategy, and all the others that are gradually adding Bitcoin as treasury. And that, well, gives us some very good prospects, even though we are a bit stuck at $66,000. We've been moving sideways for about 6 months now. I don't know if you have the monthly chart to show the one I'm referring to, Jose, the one I sent you earlier, because in this chart, what we can clearly see are the Bitcoin cycles. And in the last case, which is from the previous highs of 2021, you can see the double top where we reached 68,000. Now we are, literally fighting against that top for the past 4 or 5 months. And this is a pattern called the cup pattern. Why? Because the correction phase we've experienced over the last 2 tough years would form the base of the cup, and the part that's forming now, struggling to reach that all-time high, would be the handle, the right side of the cup. So it is said that when this high is broken, we have to take the low as a reference and extend it to the point where we are, and that would give us a target price approximately in the short term. In the short term, when are we talking about, Giovanny? 6 months, what do you know about this? In 6 months, we could go to $130,000 or $140,000 if the chart pattern holds. Okay?
By the end of the year, several have dared to give a figure, and precisely what you say, within 6 months, I think most agree with your statement.
All right, so there you have it. And then we have the other chart, Jose, which basically shows the percentage of time in previous cycles that has occurred before the price explodes. And if you look at that chart, when 7% of the halving has been completed, which is approximately where we are right now, marked by that red band, that vertical column, the price in the following months has tended to rise. So we are in a phase of accumulation, lateralization, breaking previous all-time highs, and I think all of us here already know what this is about and where we are headed. But from now until the end of the year and into 2025, it will be memorable for all of us who believe this has a future, aside from all the fundamentals we are seeing. On the other hand, if we add the approval of the Ethereum ETFs to that, the Ethereum ETFs give you a table, Joseph, with the numbers, with the net sales that have occurred from entries. And if you look at the red column on the right, the second to last one, those are the sales made by GrayScale. Okay? That is the GrayScale column. and the first and second ones are from BlackRock and Fidelity. If you notice, GrayScale is selling a lot of Ethereum just like they did with Bitcoin when the ETF was approved, and BlackRock and Fidelity are buying. So, is this good news for those who have Ethereum? Well, yes, it is good news. Besides the developments being discussed, seeing how the staking is compensated with the coins you have outside of the ETFs, well, they are looking for a way to ensure that purchases made through these funds also benefit the users or clients who decided to have exposure to the ETFs. I believe we have a very positive context in general. We've had very good months, and now focusing more on the specifics, moving a bit more towards BM and BB. In BM, what we are seeing is a recovery. Previously, I looked at the behavior over the last year, and from the minimum point we touched in BM, we have risen by 47.5%. From the minimum, I mean from a year ago, the price we had a year ago. It is true that we had a spike about 4 months ago, then we had a corrective phase, and since we announced. Since Nil came to share with us the new BM staking service, holding it for a fixed period of 3, 6, or 12 months, what we have seen is that there is indeed a change in trend and that for the past month and a half, a steady and very regular increase has been occurring. There you can see it. There you can see when we made the announcement in that triangle, where there was the rebound, we broke that downtrend, that triangle, and now we are above it. We made a touch and now we are in a lateral range, but also rising. It looks good. It has good prospects. Then I think, Giovanni, if I'm not mistaken, you have some data on how the deposits are being made over different periods after we continue and move on to the locking pot.
BM. I have the opportunity to see some data that is quite interesting regarding the blockages, the amounts, and so on. I will comment on it later if that's okay with you. We move precisely to the part where we talk about the buzz around Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and the industry. Our colleague, our friend, Gunter, started experimenting with artificial intelligence and created a song using some parameters he provided, and we began to listen to it. It caught the attention of some people both on the team and outside, and we thought that we wanted to share with you precisely that, the ease of being able to introduce what the cryptocurrency industry is through something as simple and as close as music. So we want to share them with you when Jose lets us know. We'll move forward with the song, and also based on that, we've come up with some ideas and we want to share them with you. So let's see if you can listen to it too. We'll ask, okay, go ahead.
When it's in the album and Helmet, uncondled it, and since Susan Hope will end and Hellman and then I all together, well, there's the hit by Gunter. Really great, honestly, excellent lyrics, rhythm, and style. The album, which has been highly anticipated by fans and critics alike, features a collection of songs that showcase the incredible talent and creativity of the artists involved. Each track has been meticulously crafted to deliver a unique and memorable listening experience. The Helmet, a symbol of the band's journey and evolution, represents the challenges and triumphs they have faced along the way. Susan Hope, a key figure in the music industry, has played a significant role in the production and promotion of this album. Her expertise and dedication have been instrumental in bringing this project to life. Hellman, another important contributor, has provided invaluable support and guidance throughout the process. Together, they have created a masterpiece that is sure to leave a lasting impact on listeners. The hit by Gunter, which has already received widespread acclaim, is a testament to the exceptional quality of the album. The lyrics are deeply meaningful, resonating with audiences on a personal level. The rhythm is infectious, making it impossible not to move along to the beat. The style is innovative and fresh, setting a new standard for the genre. Overall, this album is a remarkable achievement, showcasing the best of what the music industry has to offer. The album's release marks a significant milestone in the careers of the artists involved, and it is expected to be a major success both commercially and critically. The production quality is top-notch, with each song being a testament to the hard work and dedication of everyone involved. The album also explores a variety of themes and emotions, making it a rich and diverse listening experience. Fans and new listeners alike will find something to love in this exceptional collection of music. The Helmet, which has become an iconic symbol for the band, represents not only their past struggles, but also their future aspirations. It serves as a reminder of the perseverance and resilience required to succeed in the music industry. Susan Hope's involvement has been crucial in navigating the complex landscape of music production and promotion. Her insights and experience have been invaluable in shaping the final product. Hellman's contributions have also been significant, providing the necessary support and encouragement to push the project forward. The hit by Gunter stands out as a highlight of the album, with its powerful lyrics and captivating rhythm. It has already garnered a lot of attention and praise, further solidifying the album's place in the music world. In conclusion, this album is a testament to the talent, hard work, and passion of everyone involved. It is a must-listen for anyone who appreciates great music and is sure to leave a lasting impression on all who hear it.
We already have Gunter with us, Giovanni. I think he should tell us exclusively how he came up with this idea and the details, how he set it up. Well, before thanking you for being here, Gunter, how are you? Good afternoon.
How's it going, Javier? Giovanni? Hello? Hello? How are you? Well, nothing much. Look, one day while messing around with ChatGPT, which I use the most, I gave it some parameters and told it to create a song that says all this about Bitcoin, its creation and such. And in the end, well, it was a text of 7 or 8 lines. And I think it was a text that I liked quite a bit. I said, I'm going to try to create a song with it. And from there, I copied it and used it in the application. Well, there are several, but I used one called Suno, and the truth is that it's very easy to use, simply with an email registration, and I even think you can use Discord, and the truth is that it's very simple and has a free trial, so you can see that you can create a song with 3 simple parameters: a title, lyrics, and the type of song you want to use. So the real, tell me.
No, you said you put one that mixed reggaeton with heavy metal and that it turned out a bit strange, right? Zweitausendine? Yeah, that weird mix. It doesn't match. But come on, since I like metal, rock and all that, what I just put works on now. Gunter, sorry. No, go ahead, Javi. No, I was going to say that after listening to your song, which has spectacular lyrics as you mentioned, and that you can modify it a bit more to the style you like. Apparently, Leif listened to it and liked it so much that he came up with an idea or proposed holding a contest of this style. And you, Vale, you have to tell us about it because it would be great to have a song contest of this type made with artificial intelligence. Why not? It's a new tool, but it would, be interesting and it's something we can also do within the community.
Correct. It occurred to us while we were listening to it that we could not only share it with the community, but maybe create some kind of contest where I don't know what the community thinks exactly, but along the lines of making a video where you play a song, whether you play the guitar, the flute, or want to sing something, and then upload it to your social media and tag us. But to be able to put forward a proposal like that, which seemed quite interesting, we are going to need the help of everyone here, especially because one of the requirements we will need to be able to elevate that proposal is to reach at least 300 likes. And after we reach 300 likes, based on a limit of up to 500 euros, that is, for each like, it will be up to 500 euros in BM. What does that mean? If we reach 350, it would be 350 BM to distribute among the winners. But having said that, it's an initiative that we came up with, and I don't know what people think about it. I want them to share their opinions on what they thought of the song and if they would like us to do it. We held a contest, kind of like the song of the summer, so to speak, in which one of the requirements we came up with was that at least in one phrase, the word BB. About Bitcoin, the industry. For some, the industry is artificial intelligence. For others, it's mining. Basically that.
So if we reach at least 300 likes, we'll raise it and also find out if you like this Zweitausendine initiative and if you enjoyed Gunter's song, which I think, well, there are phrases. I have noted here that say towards a fair system and nothing more. From the gigs to the magnates, a global network awaits us, challenging the financial world. Challenging the financial world is key. Freedom and Kara Satoshi miners. They have captured the essence very well, Gunter. And I think this is key to what Giovanni was talking about. To make a Yusan contest. To bring out the value proposition. The message that goes beyond and put it in a song. Well, I think that's really cool. Are you already working on your next song or what, Gunter?
I have some more sketches, but yes, I have some ideas, and the truth is that, of course, the good thing about GPT chat is that, as we all know, it has the 3, 5, and 4. I use the 4 even though it's the free version, but it's more intelligent. So what you're saying, the rhymes, the way it's told, while you're listening to the song, it's telling you the story of Bitcoin, what it is, when it was created, and who made it. The truth is, it's very interesting.
Now, it's important to apologize because the initiative we mentioned about a song, would actually work this way. It's a video with a song in the background. You can sing it a cappella. It can be with artificial intelligence or not. That is, if you do it with artificial intelligence, perfect. Look, Gunter has been explaining to us that it's very simple. In 4 steps, you can make a song with artificial intelligence. But we don't just want to stop there. We want that person who likes to play the guitar, that person who plays the piano or whatever to join in. It doesn't have to be with the artificial television. And as mentioned, based on what is discussed here, we can elevate that proposal.
Well, yes, and Gunther, we are delighted that you continue working in this format. I think this, if you have thought about it, will soon start happening with movies too, even if they are short films of 2, 3, or 5 minutes, that we upload some content and say, okay, now I want the characters to be this one, and this one, and the background of the conversation of the story to be this other one. So I think we are heading towards an exciting world. The music, the content, the stories that are going to be told will open up a tremendous range of opportunities for everyone. I mean, nothing. Yes.
Now, and not less important for people who are just beginning to learn about what artificial intelligence is. At Academy, at Bit2Me Academy, we have articles that are directly linked to what artificial intelligence is and how you can use it. We also have the WebPress MBA, which is the master's program where among the courses, among the topics, the theme also includes artificial intelligence. And not less important, we also have the collections. Some of you might remember them. Among the collections, we have several DM show deficits and others, including the one on artificial intelligence. Using artificial intelligence and how collections work is quite interesting because, for example, you decide the amount you want, and with one click, you would buy the entire collection, for example, artificial intelligence. And also, as we have mentioned, you can see what type of artificial intelligence project it is, and if by any chance that AI-based cryptocurrency is not on BB, I remind you that we also have the BB feedback tool, so you can tell us, hey, I would like this cryptocurrency, this token, this AI-based project, to be on BB. So I suggest you take a look at the collection. At the material we also have on artificial intelligence. And if you have any questions, let us know. Because our Academy team can also provide a bit more information about it.
Well, if you want to give some advice to people who are encouraged, respond with all the tools you have used so that they can tell me, I can explain roughly what it's about, of course. And if our colleague sets it up, I'll explain it briefly. All right, great. Well, I don't know if Jose has any material to see. The Zuno or if he will prepare it shortly.
If you want to follow the instructions. You have to click on Create, which appears on the left. And as you can see, what is displayed is the letter that I had already created earlier. You can also do what I did. Create the GPT shell. You see there the option to create or an option that does it automatically. You click on the letter. You click on Create, and there you select the musical styles you want, the preferences. You can enter up to 120 characters, I think it was. And then below a title, and you click on Generate, and on the right, 2 songs appear, because every time you try to create a song, it generates 2 at once. So from those 2, you pick one or both, or the one you like. Maximum per email. From what I've seen, it lets you make 10 free songs. From there, you already have Paco's. I don't know how many he will leave. And it's very simple what we talked about. It's just 4 things with the email, with the Discord. And I don't know if there was anything else.
Well, it was Outload, Gmail, Discord, and that's it, I think. So it's not that complicated, and it's not about pudding. It's about having a little bit of desire, taking the text you say on a theme, giving it the style if you want it to rhyme, to be a certain number of characters. Or you can even say, hey, for a duration of X time, repeat the chorus 2 or 3 times. So what I don't know is the time. If there are any payments for more time, less, that I don't know. I've already done songs. And from there, of course, if a person who also knows about music can create some spectacular songs.
It's a very simple tool and honestly quite entertaining because I had a really good time, to be honest.
Well, let's continue because we got carried away. We had a great time, but we have a pretty extensive agenda.
All right, then. Hey, thank you very much, Gunter. And you know that if you make another Bitcoin song, you have my vote. If you make it from here, you'll have to look for support elsewhere.
All right. Thank you very much.
Well, phenomenal. Hey, let's continue, Giovanni, because we need to congratulate the entire Launchpad team and, of course, the project from Laos. We were talking with their CTO the other day in a special program to get to know them. And finally, well, we reached the goal. Also, congratulations to the entire community that participated in this new token, in this special pre-launch service, with those phases, with those technical specifications given to us by the CTO of Laos who was with us, and which has been very successful. 4 million tokens have been sold with preferential access to the project. And well, those of you who had BM obviously were able to participate before the rest of the users and already had a privileged position because the sale of all the tokens we had available was focused ahead of time. So thank you again. Thanks to the team and the community for seeing this new project so directly, so interestingly. We will follow it over the coming months to see how everything evolves. And of course, we want your feedback. If you have any questions about how it will work within the platform, don't hesitate to ask us. If you want, I can help.
Super important. Javi, for once we get involved to participate in these types of projects, in any project that is external to BB, we must follow up through their official communication channels via their website, their Telegram channel, Discord, to track the evolution. And based on that, well, see precisely when the next listing of that token on other exchanges will happen, when it will be released to the market, etc. That's where it's going to be. And be very cautious, very careful specifically with private messages, etc. Promotions that you miss, unfortunately. In all industries, in the DGT, treasury, and everything, many attempts at fraud and scams are being made. So just follow the official communication channels of both BB and, in this case, for example, Laos, to track the progress of their USAN project, which honestly looks very promising. We really appreciated the interview we had with part of the team who explained and resolved many of our doubts and concerns.
I believe about 1,500 users participated and around 650 were able to join. I previously mentioned 400,000, it's 300,000 euros, but that's also a very high amount. So congratulations to everyone. As I said, we will be closely monitoring how it develops and evolves. 2001, so we're back. If you want to remind us about BM, that new service, and also Giovanni, if you want, we can share some of the figures on how that fixed term staking is going with a duration of 3, 6, or 12 months, what amounts, in case you can give us some more details, and explain what it consists of for those who haven't used it. Always remember that it is available from the latest versions of the application. If you download it, it will already be activated, okay? Just in case someone hasn't seen it in the app yet.
And well, Giovanni, if you want, tell us a little about how there's another hour with this new BM locking service. What we do is that we have a higher API, we can receive a higher percentage of rewards by locking them in time frames like 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. The percentages will always be higher depending on the block and the time frames. That said, we still have the flexible lock option, meaning you can add any amount you want without any problem and withdraw it whenever you want. Important quickly, if for example it is locked for 12 months and you want to add funds, you can do it, but the lock counter will be updated. Okay, that is Yuri, the time period. If you have any doubts, we can explain it to you now. The truth is that we see people have really liked it a lot. It's also something that they had asked us for a lot. So I can give you some data that I've been given internally, some figures on the surface. There are almost 1,000 million BM locked right now. In addition to that, we are doing very well. In addition to that, more than 500 million BM are within 12 months. All this information, as our colleague Neil told us, will be on the BM website, okay? But these are some very, very, very interesting figures. We see that people are liking it. I am one of those who are also using that service, and many of the people close to me is 2009, and honestly, it was something we were waiting for. We want you to keep sharing your opinions with us, what you think, if you have used it so far, if you didn't know about it, and that's about it. Javi?
Well, I think it's very interesting. People are using it, and they are happy. I'm going to greet the people who have joined the chat, and I see there's an interesting debate going on. Also, I have spoken with some of these people today. Sending, he knows what I mean, but anyway. Sending a hug to Javier Arroyo, Mario Eusebio, Jose and Antonio, and some are commenting that they are having some issues when trying to contact support or withdraw their cryptocurrencies from BB. The first thing to say is that at BB, we always have cryptocurrency withdrawals enabled. In case you withdraw some cryptocurrencies or cold storage coins, what we have to do to comply with all regulations and be aligned with the supervision of MiCA and the regulators, the supervisors, is to request a series of documents in case they are not provided or if all the documents needed by the compliance team are not facilitated. For security, what Bit2Me does is say, we have the cryptocurrencies or you have them in your Bit2Me user account. You will be able to convert them to euros whenever you want and send them to your bank account or use all the services you have within Bit2Me. But for security and various reasons, whether it's documentation, risk of fraud, or other issues. If cryptocurrencies cannot be withdrawn, it's because certain criteria are not met. For us to enable that B2M tool or allow withdrawals, all conditions must be met, okay? If there are two people who have not been allowed to withdraw, it must be because they haven't met all those requirements. And obviously, what are those people going to do? Well, go to the Telegram groups, go to the social media groups to say it, and a lot of noise will be made about those things. But if you have everything organized and everything is in order, there is no problem. There is no problem because internally, we talk about this being something essential and aligned with the principles and values of Bit2Me, that people can have the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, or the cryptocurrency they have in their custody now, always following a series of steps and rules that we have to carry out. Okay, that's a bit of reason, and if you haven't answered yourself, I would encourage you to keep opening a ticket or directly contacting support by phone to see what you need to do, what conditions you need to meet, or what you are missing.
Correct. In fact, you will probably receive an email with the instructions you mentioned. That said, I remind you once again and aligned with what you are saying, thank you very much. Any type of possible issue or question about the operation of your BB account should be addressed exclusively through the BB support team. No private messages, no general chats. For your safety first, because on the other hand, we don't know who is behind it, whether it's true or not. So only the BB support team will be able to make those checks to give you an appropriate response and the corresponding instructions. As you mentioned, if he follows all the corresponding instructions, he will be able to operate. Normally on Bit2Me, just checking. Thanks for the clarification. I was also thinking of doing it, so thanks again.
Well, if you want, we can continue. We're telling you that it's a matter of contacting and reviewing those emails with the requested information, okay? We have to do it because we are a company that complies with regulations. It's not that we like to make things difficult for users, not at all, quite the opposite, but it is what it is, right? Well, Giovanni, let's move on to another new tool and let's also welcome Luis to talk about the new options, the new way to analyze the portfolio. How are you, Luis? Good afternoon, how are you? We can't hear you, Luis. No. Okay. I'm being told by control that Luis is at the end. Sorry, Luis. We're going to make you wait 5 minutes, but don't move from there because we can see you on the screen. All right, so let's talk about the new tools we have for portfolio analysis, Giovanni.
Perfect. We were just referring to the fact that we now have a new tool, which is portfolio analysis. When you said we were going to turn it over to Luis, it was so he could tell us that he has also tried out that new feature. In short, we would like to know, I don't know if we can do a survey if you have already tried it, what you think about it. If you have tried it, if you haven't tried it, and the portfolio analysis. In short, I will say the following. The new portfolio analysis functionality allows users to see how the value of their balance has changed, with the variations in the portfolio value between different moments. Now, we have had some doubts and concerns from people regarding the BME fiscal report with BME tax. Unlike BB tax, where realized losses or gains are recorded using the FIFO method, first in, first out, portfolio analysis focuses on value fluctuations that have not yet been realized through a transaction. That data is quite important. That said, the application also allows us to see that portfolio analysis year by year as of today. Some users have told us that they would like the next version to be different. In that vein, we always plan to include the opinion of our community. We might conduct a survey that we will send by email, and don't forget to provide feedback so that if you say, hey, I want these improvements in the next version, we have an article that explains it very well. I just wanted to be quite explicit and specific about what I mentioned earlier so that there is no doubt about whether I saw your half and the portfolio analysis could cause some discomfort. In that regard, what we wanted was for Luis to briefly share his opinion on this new service.
I was really looking forward to him joining. That's why I mentioned it earlier, but with your explanation now, it's much better. Now we can welcome Luis. Hello, good afternoon, Bitumeros. Greetings, Javi, Gunter, and Giovanny, and some of you who I know are watching but are not Bitumeros. Let's see if you get encouraged to join this beautiful world. And well, yes, I have loved it. I have loved it. I have loved the portfolio. I have been looking at it, tinkering with it, and well, I found the chart visually friendly and quite intuitive. I also think it's very good to see how to diversify your portfolio with this 2000 tool that facilitates the distribution of investments. Well, for me, it's a fundamental tool to use and work with daily. As it updates, it's a buy, a sell. Both with a card, it will show you all the movements of the number of operations you are doing. And I think it's a tool that can facilitate your personal investments, Joan and Javier. And for me, it's fundamental. I think it was also requested by the community at some point. And well, it can also help you identify opportunities. Well, you use it for what has served you the most so far. Look, what has given me a lot of security and confidence is that you don't just see your distribution of coins, the wallet you have to buy, what you have done. You can use it to create a strategy, or if you are at a loss in a coin, in a crypto that you like, and you can see a loss, you can see how to use it to your advantage to say, well, maybe I will buy or wait to sell. It always makes me feel secure. Look, Luis, since I've been in this ecosystem using the platform and such, they have told me that sometimes I buy, and since I buy at different times, I don't remember at what price I bought and how much profit I have at each of those moments. Is that what you mean? This always solves it for me. As Giovanny says, it's a first version, always BB. I know it will be constantly improving. It's a first version, and yes, it really makes the work much easier. You can take a quick look, scroll up, you can see last year, this year, 2024, how you are doing and decide on a strategy. I find it quite useful. I suppose it might cost you a bit at first. You have your chart. It might cost you to say, hey, I've done so many operations with a card, or so many euros have come in, so many euros have gone out. But for me, it's a fundamental tool that I think Wikimeros will appreciate. And surely over time, it will improve a lot. It will be much more fluid, much more intuitive, which for me, it already is quite a bit. But if you had to add something more to make it even more direct, Luis, although we know we have the big feedback, and it's a way to channel and organize all the proposals that come to us, but well, something that might occur to you now, look, maybe a weekly action wouldn't be bad, right? Are there people who like to do a lot of trading, one action per week? Not because we have it monthly, one action per week, or being able to select some cryptos saying, I want it to be done for me. Can it be done currently, right?
Well, it could be a matter of throwing stable Bitcoin and you only get stereo Bitcoin for what you've deposited, whether you've sold or not. But to fine-tune it a bit, setting a weekly action for those who like to stay very up to date with everything might not be a bad idea. It wouldn't be bad at all. In fact, as you also said, Luis, it's important that besides having an article that we will share here in the link or through our communication channels like Telegram, we also have the I in each portfolio analysis tab, which if we click on it, opens information precisely about a tab, how it works. That said, if for some reason you've been checking and like some people say it doesn't match what I have noted down, don't worry. As I mentioned, anything related to BM operations, just open a ticket and say, look, I need this clarification. Please be patient. Be patient because the support service is practically working 24/7 on it. Even if they don't respond immediately, they might be waiting for a response from another department to resolve those concerns, those doubts, or possibly. In what Giovanny says, our support team does a titanic job, really. I think it's one of the best in the entire industry, and I say that confidently.
And besides, you have the BitB community. Here is Gunter, here is Luis, and many of you are also in the chat following us in the Telegram group. There might be things we can, help you with and resolve on the spot because other people have had the experience. But if they are personal cases where sensitive information is requested, obviously all that has to go through email and you have to do it in that format because there are two things. One is support and the other is special documentation for specific operations. They are two different things. Just understand that. That's all.
And because, as I mentioned before, unfortunately, you might be exposed to people writing to you privately, pretending to be part of the team and trying to deceive you. So please have patience. Any possible issue will be addressed. Any clarification you need or request you have will be handled by the team. That's about it. Thank you, Luis, man. Really, I appreciate it a lot. Stick around because later we also want you to tell us something about a BB feedback tool. Sorry, about the Bit2Me tool, a proposal that is currently underway.
A proposal? Yes, I'll comment on it later. Then the best. Thanks. We wanted to get ahead already. We wanted to get ahead because we always come out bad and you improve, Giovanni. How are you doing? Operational improvements. Well, for those of you who don't know BB Pay, BB Pay is a service that allows you to make transfers not only of crypto, but also of fiat within the platform, from user to user. I might be wrong about fiat, but I'm not sure if it has any limitations. However, you can make transfers from user to user through mobile phone, account, or email directly through the platform. You can use it as a kind of internal BizM for BB. Well, the interface has been improved, and all of this is obviously free of charge. Using it through the app is also very simple, and you can see the history of all the transactions that have been made. So, as Luis was saying, we continue to implement improvements and proposals that you keep sending us.
Yes, Giovanni, no, and precisely what you are saying. We have a redesign of BME Pay, and we also have a redesign of BME Pro, which is something that has been very well received. Both the web versions and the app versions are constantly being improved. It's super important that we always make sure, even in chats, to say, hey, make sure you have the app updated to the latest version. Most of the time, like everywhere, we respond, yes, I already have it updated. We are constantly adding performance improvements, design enhancements, and security upgrades. So in 2023, make sure you have the application updated to the latest version to see all these possible improvements applied. And in addition to that, because sometimes, and I take this opportunity because if our internet connection is not stable, it can cause us to not see some things correctly. Just have a bit of patience, refresh the screen, or check that you have coverage. That being said, there are also redesigns of referrals. We are doing many redesigns, and some of them have already given us feedback. The most recent one has been the redesign of BB Pro, both on the web and in the app, where we also have some pending improvements.
The topic of referrals, for those of you who don't know, basically the topic of referrals is that if you talk to, let's say, friends or family, the typical situation where you go there, super excited to see if you can convince someone about that future, and you have lunch with them and say that there's also a company that works well, that provides these services. Well, there's a referral link that links your account with that person, and every operation that person makes, it positively impacts you with the registration, that welcome bonus, and that kind of thing, as Ted knows, because he told me about it the other day.
Yes. So any concerns you have, you can count on us through our social media. From Telegram, we will provide you with information or help you because we are aware that our tweet is very comprehensive. In fact, there are people who, even though they have been working and operating with us for years, are still unaware of some of our services because they might be focused on things like eating, for companies, for large quantities, for investment funds, public institutions, or even like what I mentioned a while ago. Don't forget that we have collections where with just one click you can buy several cryptocurrencies with that pack, like the artificial intelligence one I mentioned earlier, or take a look because there are many more, and that will also evolve shortly.
Not much more, Javi. We could also talk a bit about the new coin listings, the ones that light up with a red dot that we add. But let's remember one called LAOS, which, if I'm not mistaken, already existed in 2020. We've added it to the wallet, and you also have it on Bit2Me Pro. Then we have it in Earn. We've added ECS in case anyone is holding it. We've also added it to Car for when you make payments. A new stablecoin for euros that complies. And this is very important and with the MiCA regulation. That is, it is a stablecoin pegged to the euro that complies with the regulation coming into effect on January 1st, 2025, which, as you know, requires stablecoins to have a series of backed reserves to be able to list that type of parity or asset within centralized exchanges. So, well, tomorrow, well soon, if they are not already in pro. We will also add pairs like Bong 510th. Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Yes, we were losing you. Go ahead with your coverage. It seemed like we were losing you a bit. Angel was also asking, for example, here he was saying that Javier, when are we going to add an ear to raid what I mentioned? Use the BB feedback tool so that they can be listed on the tweet. When we say they can be listed on the tweet, it can be for air, for car, for pro, or for wallet, for example.
That being said, quickly moving on, one of the new listings has been CX Test, which after its migration, you can now earn rewards in BB with an API of around 11%. So always take a look at BM for the API percentages and see what quotes catches your attention the most. And even, as we mentioned at the beginning, we have the lockups that will happen, the lockups with BM, which will always give a much higher percentage than the flexible ones. In this case, we would also move on to light drop, Javier.
Yes, go ahead, because we are in the final phase, Giovanni, of the airdrop day Concordium, which is a series of phases we've been doing with the airdrop, but go ahead, no problem.
Sure, on August 1st, Phase 4 begins, the Concordios airdrop, in which we will distribute 4 million Concordios out of the 10 million we are distributing throughout the year. All right, this phase is just starting. How can we apply to participate? It's quite simple. Have 20,000 Concordios or more before the start of each phase. In this case, it would be before August 1st. If you don't have them, you can buy them on BB Wallet. Important, only on BB Wallet. No, it's valid on BB Pro if it were there. Then also deposit the Concordia in it and enjoy passive rewards of up to 18% API. 3 would be to keep the Concordios in the air during each of the phases you want to participate in, or until November 2024 if you want to participate in all the phases. And that's about it, meaning if you have already participated or are currently participating, take advantage of the fact that you will continue to be part of all the upcoming phases.
Well, thank you very much, Giovanni. Thanks for the explanation. And let's move on to the news. I believe from a corporate point of view, from a business perspective, the most important news we've had this month with BM was that announcement on July 18th with Unicaya Bank, the Spanish bank Unicaya, where the company Unicaya directly enters the administration of BB, becoming the reference bank 2009 in the Spanish fintech environment. This has been an agreement, one BAM, that has been negotiated and discussed for a very long time. And let's go back a bit to what we were talking about before, Giovanni. For the banks, Telefonica did it first. Then we had alliances with other partners. In other jurisdictions, in the Emirates, the Cardano Foundation. Now we have also talked about BBVA Spark, which has a division, and with Unicaja Ventus, which have directly entered the administration. And the alliance consists of developing new products related to Bitcoin and DAS crypto. Therefore, we are 6 months away, less than a year from 2025, from Mika's entry. That's why, when we talk about those security processes that Giovanni mentioned about requesting information to ensure everything works well and is in line to achieve a Mika law, it is also due to the alliances the company is making along the way. If we don't manage to position BB in a strong, powerful place, then none of that will be achieved. So it benefits everyone, not just the future of the company, but all the tools, the token, etc., etc. Therefore, it is important that all of this is done and done well. And so we welcome Unicaya, who will help us not only with the technical part, but also with access and entry into new markets, new clients, new users, integrations with their banking services, etc., etc. I mean, from my point of view, as a Bit2Me user, this gives me much more. We already had a very secure position, but this gives me even more security. And the moment we get the MiCA law, which will also be a before and after, well, I can't even tell you. So I think this is also to congratulate the entire community, the whole BB team, for doing things the way they are being done, because achieving an alliance of these characteristics at this moment is, I believe, like everything that is happening in the ecosystem, a before and after. And there are companies that have received unfavorable news because they haven't done things right, because they haven't complied with the supervisors. Whether we like it more or less, what they ask us to do is what we have to do, and well, I think this alliance with Unicaja resolves all that work.
Of course, Javi, and as you mentioned in a few words, it's synergies and collaborations in both directions. The details will keep evolving, and more information will be released about those types of synergies in both directions. So, the truth is, congratulations to the whole team. Thanks to the entire community that has been supporting us, trusting in BB. We keep moving forward. We haven't stopped. We won't stop. We continue improving our services, our alliances, as we said, in both directions.
and that's about it. Javi, who would tell Luis, and Gunter that they are there in the waiting room. I would like to know if we can count on them, Jose, everyone on screen, so we can all say goodbye together. Also, thanks to everyone who is following us live. As always, leave a like, especially for Gunter's song and Luis's participation. Of course, thanks to Giovanny for his thorough explanations, and to Jose for managing the controls, making sure everything is in place, even if it doesn't seem like it. I haven't mentioned it today, but it's truly a pleasure to be with you. Luis, thank you very much. Giovanny, Jose, who is sending, the whole BB team who has written to us, also some colleagues who are watching the live broadcast, and also to the entire audience, to the whole community. Next year, the next season, they are always memorable, because the truth is that they are all memorable. In the end, if you realize every season we say it's going to be awesome, it's going to be amazing. They are amazing. And I think the next one is going to be the one that blows up, the one that's going to be it. What do you mean next year?
What kind of vacation do you want to look forward to next season? Next season. There are still some Bitcoins around. That said, hey, congratulations to the team, because I just saw the survey. It says you liked the portfolio analysis feature. And yes, 91% and not 80%.
So, all right then.
So thank you very much to everyone. Thanks, Jorge, especially for putting up with us there. And thanks to the community, because, you know, that's what live shows are like.
Well, I've said it. A hug, lots of kisses. Make sure to bathe a lot. Enjoy yourselves. And that all members cough. No.